everyone. Welcome back to the final episode, part 5 of Blender 3D modeling and rendering. In this part, we're going to be finally talking about lighting and rendering our image, basically rendering our model. Sorry, not image, but it does comes out as an image depending on your settings. So yeah, um, one of the big things that I want to do first is show you guys how the what's it called? Sorry, the Among Us character looks like. So I went ahead and smoothed out the character that I drew last time from to like here. Now the character that I have here is right here. Now that's the lower poly one. That's with the unsmooth version, whereas this is the smooth version. Okay. So um biggest difference between them is I just applied multiple of these multiple subdivision surface modifiers. So what you can do is you can just do it right here, and then see that will basically get your model to smooth there. So obviously don't forget to hit apply once you finish it, once you finish adding the modifier. Okay, so as I was saying, we're going to talk about lighting today. So this is going to be mostly um, theory. First of all, theory, because in terms of lighting, right, we've got the four more important ones here, which is mesh, area, spot, and point. Um, the world environment, right? This world environment at the back that can emit light. One of the first things that you can do to like not add a lighting here instead of these four guys right here, you can just go to here, wall properties, and then change the color of your background to whatever color. Oh, you won't see it here, sorry about that, because we have to go to rendered view first, and then we can change the background color to whatever we want here. Now that doesn't actually I kind of forgot if that actually affects the. Oh, actually, I believe it does. I believe it does affect the final rendered image after everything. So yeah. So first of all, I've got my little light here. I've got my little. I believe that's a spotlight. If not a spotlight, it's a point light. That's a point light. Sorry. So that point light, I believe, has some intensity because I think it's illuminating this area a little bit. It's lighting up this area a little bit. So I'm going to delete that. Let's see. Select that, delete that. There we go. See that? See that? The characters have no shadows, no lights there anymore. So that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. So I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all let's create a little backdrop. These parts, okay. So these parts, I want you guys to read it by yourself and then play around with the four different types of lights that we have in Blender. Like I said, we got point light. Point light, as it states, it's a little light, the omnidirection point of light that's has a little point that radiates like the same amount of light depending on the intensity to like various direction. It can be like a little visualized by a little circle playing dot in Blender. And I'll show you guys what properties you can try to change to get the light to like get really bright or really dim. Okay, the most important ones are really just power and radius in this lesson, in this part. So going back here, I'm gonna add in, sorry, not apply. I'm gonna add in light here. So the sun would probably be the biggest one. I can do spot here. Spot's one of the spotlight that you can get here. So there you go. The light is probably not probably, actually I tell you that it's because the radius, and especially with the power, right? The power is not that not powerful enough so that it's not appearing that much there. What you can do is you can try to change the size. There we go, size a little bit, and then that's the blend. Where's the cone? Oh, that's the cone. So feel free to like have it like this. so that you can see how the light looks like. So you can turn off the show cone, and depending on your size, your light will look different. Okay, we have shadow on, clip start. That's okay. That's the our properties for shadow. I'm just looking for the radius. Is it distance? Custom distance. I do custom distance. That's what I want. That's weird. Looks like I can't change. Actually, can I? There we go. Not really. Where's the other one? Nope. Oh, that's the direction of light. That's okay, actually. That's the like I said, that's a spotlight that you guys can try to have it in your scene, final scene. I'm gonna create a little backdrop for all of us. So to create the little backdrop, you gotta have this little plane here. Scale it up, okay? Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. Actually, the reason why we couldn't properly see the light here was because we didn't have a little backdrop, not a backdrop, actually we can have a little plane here to show us where the light is going, like where the light is touching. So there you can see all the shadow there, all the shadows there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of this guy to the right side, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go to edit mode, gonna select this part here, and I'm gonna extrude out on the z-axis like this. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this part, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bevel it. So that I'm going to Control B to bevel, and then I'm going to scroll down a little bit there. I think I got about, yeah, there we go. I just needed about that much size there. There we go. That's good enough. So that we're basically done our backdrop, guys. Now, how do you now the way I just did the backdrop, you all can see it in the document here on page I believe that's page 6. I've got the little images here that you can follow, the little steps here, and the reason why we're having a backdrop is to mimic the to basically change to have the direction of light focusing on the character when we take a picture, basically when we try to render out the scene uh, with our camera. Okay, so I'm going to be really basic here, because the spotlight and everything, you can change all the color. Obviously you have to select it first, like here. It can be, the color can be changed, see? And the other thing is you don't have to just stick to one spotlight. You can duplicate it. You can shift D to duplicate it, see? And then you can add let me just go it on the Z axis, Y maybe, there you go, Y axis, sorry. And then try to rotate a little bit like this, and then okay, I'm gonna change the power to maybe green there. See how it's different? So feel free to play around with these light settings, okay? Like I said, there's more than one light, so I'm just using spotlight here, made to keep it simple for everyone. But feel free to get the point light, get the that's I just changed that spotlight to point light, get the point light, get the sun there. Sun's gonna be really bright. It sounds, as you can see right here, sun's very bright. So no, don't get the sun, get the point light, or get the spotlight, or get the area light. I really like the area light. Okay, so we're gonna go back to spotlight there. And then finally, what we're going to do is we're going to get our camera here. So select the camera, hit 0 to hit numpad 0. So for those who don't have the numpad 0, you gotta hit N, and then you gotta go to view, and then you got to I believe, actually not there, it's right here, view, go to cameras, and then you gotta select active camera. Okay, if you don't have the numpad on your laptop or on your computer. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to lock my camera to my view, basically, so that when I move around, I'll show you, when I move around, the camera moves around. See? So I'm gonna line it up like really nicely there. Now, this will be my final project. So if this is your final project, I want to see more characters here, more different versions of the Among Us character, more the basically the cars that we did, the llama, the monkey king, and the little tank that we did on the first day. And if you can, please do more projects before you do your final rendering, okay? And from here, the way you render is to hit render here, up here, and then click render image to render out your image. So I can show you this, but before I do this, I just want to make sure that everyone save their files to day 5 or like the final day. I think I may have forgot to mention to save on the previous one, but don't forget to save your files, guys. Otherwise you might lose your project. You might lose your actually, yeah, you might lose your project or even the process steps. Okay, I'm gonna hit render image here, and boom, I got my render right here. Now my graphics card is obviously really powerful here, so it renders out everything in like less than a second. So depending on the graphics card, basically your PC or laptop's hardware is going to be very different. And if it's like too long, don't worry about it. These rendering takes time. They take computer power to be able to render out. Okay, so once you finish that, you can save it to like save file image and then save as. You can say Blender image or Blender render image, and then it's going to be it can be PNG, so you can like save it in wherever and then press save to save the rendered image. Okay, so that's it. Actually, that's basically the entire project, the entire, sorry, not the project, the entire course. There's a lot of a lot of tools to discover, but with these tools, I believe it's more than enough to create your own, to have your own creativity stretch out, to have your own models, to have your character models, everything. And all the best of luck in creating your character models. And if you ever manage to create like, if you ever manage to create a really nice looking models, please show them to me in class. Please show them to me after the holiday session, maybe after the holiday program, or whenever you find me at school. All right, thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see all of you around.